Okay, and welcome to the latest episode of Science by 80. Today we are looking at how muscles help with circulation. And what I want you to do now is have a think about how blood is pumped around your body and why it is so important. Okay, so jot some ideas down. You need to be thinking about why is blood or how is blood pumped around your body and why is it important. Okay, so I'm going to give you the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so thinking about your answers, here's the answers I'm going to give you. So basically, how is blood pumped around your body? It is pumped around your body by the heart. Okay, and then why is it important? Well, basically, without that function, you wouldn't be able to live. Okay, and part of this lesson today will be you participating in a voluntary investigation into breathing rate and heart rate. And we're going to have a look at that in a moment. We're just going to talk about what we're going to be looking at in the video. Okay, so we're looking at the what and the why of why we are looking at this. So the what, well, at the beginning of the lesson we discussed it. So it's how do muscles help with circulation, and you're going to be partaking in a experiment or an investigation, either in your back garden or your lounge at home with a family member, either your mum, dad, brother, sister, or all of them. Okay, and why? Well, why is the heart important? Well, basically, your heart and your circulatory system work together to deliver blood to your organs and your cells, so that basically they can function. Okay, and we're going to look at the little boxes down below. We're going to have a go at a keywords exercise. We're going to look at a review quiz. Then we're going to look at the experiment that you're going to be doing yourselves. And then there's going to be a few questions that you can answer later on, which you can download from the Science Guy 80 Facebook page. Okay, so coming up. So we've got keywords exercise here, and the keywords are pulse rate, breathing rate, vein, artery, and heart chambers. And the definitions we've got running down the other side. So just have a little read of those. See if you can, work out which definition belongs to the keyword. Pause the video, jot them down on a bit of paper or a revision card, and use that as revision questions for yourselves. And then we're going to go through the answers in 3, 2, 1. So pulse rate. Okay, are there any words there that stand out to you in the definitions box that would point to the definition of pulse rate? So the answer is the number of times a pulse is felt in a minute. What about breathing rate then? Any words that stick out there that would point to breathing rate? And that's right, yeah, it's the number of times you inhale and exhale in 1 minute. What about vein? So what are veins? So we know veins are a blood vessel. So do they carry blood towards the heart, or do they carry it away? That's right, they carry away from the heart. So a blood vessel, so a vein is a blood vessel that carries blood towards the heart. And the artery, well, that's also a blood vessel, so it's got to be a blood vessel that carries blood away from the heart. So the heart chambers are spaces inside the heart that the blood moves through as the heart pumps. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so we've got a diagram of the heart, and you've also got a video there, or a little animation showing you how the heart pumps, or what happens when the heart is pumping. Okay, now the heart is made up of 4 chambers. Now those 4 chambers are called the right atrium, the left atrium, the right ventricle, and the left ventricle. Okay, so when the muscle of the heart contracts, blood is squeezed out and pumped through the vessels. Okay, so the blood vessels. Now it transports substances such as oxygen and proteins to your cells, to your organs, okay, so they can function. And it also carries away waste products like carbon dioxide, like we discussed in the video the other day. Okay. Now, true or false? Let's have a go at these. So true or false? We use oxygen for respiration, which gives us energy. Is that true or is it false? It is true, because without oxygen, respiration and energy, we would die. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, true or false? We also need carbon dioxide for respiration. Do we need carbon dioxide for respiration? True or false? It is false. It's a waste product. We don't need it. Okay, plants do. We don't. Next one coming up. True or false? When we inhale, our lungs get bigger. Remember back to last lesson. Okay, true or false? When we inhale, our lungs get bigger. It's true. They inflate as they fill with air. Okay, next one, and I think it's the last one. True or false? When our muscles contract, we breathe in. Is that true or false? When our muscles contract, we breathe in. Yeah, it's true. The diaphragm and the rib muscles contract to expand our rib cage. Okay, so we're looking at breathing rate and pulse rate. Okay, now scientists have machines that are able to measure breathing rate and pulse rate. You also probably have a watch or a Fitbit that also happens to measure your pulse rate. Okay, now every time your heart pumps, okay, every time your heart pumps blood, it causes what we call a pulse. Okay, and it causes this thing called a pulse. Now, your pulse rate is the number, the term pulse rate basically means the number of times your pulse beats per minute. Okay. Now, inside the heart, okay, you have 4 chambers. I mentioned it earlier. You have 4 chambers, and they fill with blood. Okay. Now, when the chambers are full, the muscle tissue in the wall of the heart contracts, okay, which pumps blood out of them. All right. So here we've come to the investigation side of the lesson, and this is the bit you're going to be partaking at home with a family member or all your family members, mum, dad, brothers, sisters, and so the investigation is what happens to your breathing rate and heart rate before and after exercise. I want you to start thinking about 2 scientific questions and come up with a hypothesis for the investigation. Can you come up with 2 scientific questions with regard to your breathing rate and pulse rate? Okay, and a hypothesis to try and prove your questions right, or disprove your questions. Copy down the table below, or you can get it off the Facebook my Facebook page, Science Guy 80, in the notes section. So yeah, do that. Okay, so we've moved on now to the method part of this lesson for the experiment. Now, the first part of the method that we're going to follow is you're going to sit still and you're going to measure your resting pulse rate, which is in beats per minute. And then you're going to also measure your resting breathing rate in breaths per minute. The second part that you're going to follow is that you're going to choose your own exercise that you're going to do for 1 minute. So examples of doing exercise for 1 minute could be running on the spot. It could be sprinting over 5 meters for 1 minute, backwards and forwards. Could be sit-ups, could be star jumps. Okay, and the third part, well, basically you're going to measure your breathing rate for 15 seconds while your partner measures your pulse rate, and you're going to multiply each reading by 4, okay, to get your results in beats and breaths per minute. And then the fourth part, okay, you're going to continue measuring your pulse and breathing rates every other minute until they are the same as they were before you started exercise. And then what I think you should do, which would be a lot of fun, is you reverse it. So your partner does 1 minute of exercise and you record their results as well. Questions below, they're up to you. They're completely, up to you if you want to do them, okay. So go for it, every bit helps. So then what you're going to do after you've done the experiment, you've got your results, okay, and your partner's also done the experiment and got their results, you're then going to consider your results, and then you're going to plot a line graph for each set of results. Again, you can get this graph or the graph paper off of the Science Guy AT Facebook page in the notes section. Okay, now you're going to do a graph for each. Okay, so you're going to do one for your pulse rate and one for your breathing rate. Okay, then you're going to look at the second part, which is how many minutes did it take for your pulse and breathing rates to return to normal after exercise? So you need to answer that question. This is basically you concluding this experiment. So we like to have a conclusion or an evaluation after every experiment we do. Okay, you're also going to compare the results with others in your family, or your friends online. You could also do this online via FaceTime or video chat, and just answer all these questions down here. They're also available on the Facebook page Science Guy AT for you to get in the notes section. So here we've got some further questions that you can answer. You can get them again off the Science Guy AT notes section on the Facebook page, or you can just write them down in your own book and answer them as best you can. So yeah, all yours, go for it. Okay, so now we're at the review part of the lesson. There are some more questions there that you can jot down on a bit of paper or in your book at home, or get it off the Facebook page Science Guy AT and have a go in your own time. So we're at the review part, and basically what was the point in the lesson? Well, it's how do muscles help with circulation, or how do muscles help with pumping blood around your body? And it is basically the heart pumps blood around your body. So the heart pumps blood around your body. When it fills up, it contracts and it pumps blood out of it around your body. And why is it important? Well, basically it's important for your cells and your organs to be able to function, and without that function you would not be alive. Okay, be really interested to get some photos from you guys sent into the Facebook page of you doing the experiment, your results, okay, and some of your questions that you've answered. Be really interested in, fantastic for me to have a look at. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the experiment, and I'll see you again soon. See you on the other side.